Hello everyone, my name is Travissa Sweet, and today I will be presenting my leadership analysis on my pastor Leonard Byram. He's the pastor and leader of Christ Temple Apostolic Faith Church here in Brownsville. In the presentation, I will explain how Pastor Byram's leadership has shaped the culture of our church using Edgar Sheen's 3-level model. His leadership styles, examples, and influence provide a clear picture of how a strong leader can guide organizations spiritually, emotionally, and practically. I chose Pastor Byram because his leadership has personally impacted me. He treats every member with kindness and humility. He leads accordingly to the Bible, not his own preferences. He is someone who listens, understands, and corrects with love. His leadership helps shape my view of what spiritual guidance looks like. I've seen how he remains patient, supportive, and even in challenging moments. Just to reflect on that slide, I've been knowing my pastor since I was a little kid. He's actually my cousin. So seeing him walk right at church and at home has impacted me. Just shows what type of leader he is. He just doesn't just tell us what to do, he lives it too. Let's see here. On the third slide, I talk about Sheen's level 1 artifacts and behaviors. Sheen's first level focuses on the visible things in an organization. At Christ Temple, one of the first things you notice is how members treat each other like family. This is not just something people say, it's something you truly feel when you walk in the building. Our church is also very active in the community. For example, the church has a basketball court for the young people. They also host vacation Bible school and create favors to pass out when inviting people to church. These actions show that Pastor Byram believes the church should serve and reach out beyond its walls. He also demonstrates leadership behaviors through the way he communicates. He remains humble and approachable and sets a tone of respect and warmth that members can follow. To reflect on that slide, like I said, they always come together. We always have things for the women to do, things for the men to do together as a collective. Like brunch, they get together for Christmas, give back to the community that way. Yep. So slide number 4 is how he shapes these artifacts. These visible behaviors don't happen by accident. Pastor Byram intentionally creates an environment where people feel welcomed. He encourages members to help one another, reach out to the community, and stay united. He leads by example. He participates in events, supports the youth, and takes time to talk with individuals. His consistency is what makes these behaviors a normal part of the culture at Christ Temple. I guess to reflect on that, I would say after church, he walks around, speaks to everyone, checks on, asks how they're doing. He doesn't feel like he's higher than anybody else at the church. He treats everybody like family. I think that's important in leadership. I guess because it makes the members feel more comfortable with opening up to him and feeling welcomed like family. So on slide 5 is Sheen's level of exposed values. The second level of Sheen's module focuses on values, things an organization says are important. Pastor Byram consistently teaches values like love, respect, accountability, humility, and helping one another. These values are part of almost every sermon, class, and discussion. A major value he teaches is unity. He always encourages us to work together and support one another, not just as church members, but as family. He modeled the values through his own behavior by being patient, respectful, and fair in the way he guides the church. Let's see. Slide 6 is how values show in his leadership. His values become visible through his actions. He listens carefully when people speak to him. He corrects people privately rather than embarrassing them in public. He encourages people to grow spiritually and personally. He remains firm when needed, but also does it with love. Because he sets the example, members naturally follow his lead. This creates a culture where people feel safe sharing their struggles, asking for help, and participating in the service of the church. On this slide, I just want to reflect on what I said by adding. It's been several times where if I haven't been to church in a while, or he sees that I'm doing something wrong, he reaches out to me in private, lets me know in a gentle, loving way what I can do to get back on track. There's no pressure, but just that little nudge to let me know he's a little concerned with me and wants me to be on the right path. On slide 7 is Sheen's level 3 underlying assumptions. The third level focuses on deep beliefs that guide the organization, even if they aren't spoken out loud. At Christ Temple, some of these assumptions include everyone deserves compassion, the church should feel like a family, leaders should remain humble, and the Bible is the foundation of every decision. Pastor Byram strongly believes that true leadership comes with accountability to God, and that belief shapes everything he does. These assumptions influence how the church serves the community, interacts with the youth, and supports family. I want to reflect on that one because I want to include how he includes everybody at the church. Like I said, how they come together. The men have a club where they come together. The women do. They have appreciation for everybody, not just him. Like they have a musician appreciation, and he expects the same effort as a pastor wife appreciation that we give into musicians appreciation or ushers appreciation and that type of thing. So on slide 8 is impact of his leadership on the culture. The impact of Pastor Byram's leadership is easy to see. The church is warm, unified, and welcoming. There is strong involvement from the youth and the adults. People trust the leadership because Pastor Byram is consistent and fair. Families feel supported, and the community sees Christ Temple as a positive presence. His leadership style combines humility, compassion, and biblical guidance, which strengthens the entire organization. On slide 9 is my personal reflection. Personally, Pastor Byram's leadership has influenced how I view leadership in general. He has shown me that being a leader is not about power, it's about service. It is about treating people with kindness, listening before judging, and standing firm in your values. His leadership creates an environment where people feel safe, respected, and understood. Watching him lead inspires me to be a leader who remains humble, understanding, and trustworthy. His influence will guide how I want to lead my own team someday. So to reflect on this slide, I want to say seeing him be a leader has made me realize what a leader shouldn't be. If I'm if I'm under a leader that isn't leading right, I know that they're not leading right based off of how he leads. So slide 10 is my conclusion. So in conclusion, Pastor Leonard Byram clearly affects all 3 levels of Sheen's organizational cultural model. His visible actions, his top values, and his deep underlying beliefs all work together to shape Christ Temple into a strong, unified, and loving church. His leadership creates both spiritual and personal growth for the members, and he serves a powerful example of what authentic leadership looks like. And I want to say thanks for listening to me. Sorry if I bored you. And I have really enjoyed this class. And if anybody else sees this besides the professor, have a great break.